Hello guys, Art-Teeves here. This is the third and final video of my series that covers the process of texturing the stylized robot character model in Substance Painter. Let's get started. As I've mentioned in my modeling video, this character has 21k polygons and 21k vertices, placing it in the mid-poly range. Since my workflow skips high to low poly baking, I optimize geometry directly during modeling. There's still plenty of room for optimization, including potential manual retopology. The concept for this model is as follows. Our lady is a forgotten robotic guardian, wandering a desolate garden on a slender spider-like legs. Moving with deliberate grace, she tends to the withered blooms, her softly glowing lamps offering the only light in this forsaken place, nurturing what little life remains. This character is divided into two distinct elements, head and body, both with closed geometry and separate 4K UV maps. While this setup works for demonstration purposes, a more optimized solution would be a single unified 4K UV atlas with 16 to 32 pixel padding, which would be fully sufficient for a model of this complexity. I start my standard baking workflow by configuring three key settings. First, I maximize the ray count across all tabs. Next, I set the subsampling value to 16. Finally, I disable the ID section. For this model, I mainly use existing smart materials. The dress and its sleeves use steel-painted scraped green smart material. I've edited it slightly and also added a slope blur filter to its paint layer in order to give it a more cartoony stylized look. I highlight some of its edges by using a fill layer with high roughness value and applying Dirt Cavity's smart mask to it. For dress frames, I use a modified version of the same material I've used for the body. I play with its curvature to give it a more metallic look, and also darken it a little bit to make it stand out. Wires receive a rubber dry preset smart material with an altered color. Technically, you may want to add some grunges here, but I didn't do it to keep the model simple and preserve the overall stylized semi-cartoony look. Her shoulders receive a steel-painted stained smart material. The only thing I changed here is play around with its color and roughness settings. Legs receive a steel-painted worn preset smart material. Obviously it highlights their UV seams, so we create a simple fixed layer, set all of its blending options to pass through, and use the clone stamp tool to cover all visible UV seams. We can also add a gradient to her legs to make her blend better with the rest of the scene. When masking seams, ensure you play around with your brush flow settings or create multiple paint layers that have different opacity or brush flow settings. This way, you will get a more natural blend between strokes. Make sure to use some kind of rubber material for all parts that are supposed to bend later on in the animation phase. The face surface also relies on a steel-painted stained preset smart material. Its frames share material with the dress frames. Lights rely on the plastic dusty smart material. Obviously, the emission channel is enabled for all of its layers, including dark emission for dust and dirt. The emission channel is enabled in the texture set settings menu. In order to give lamps some dusty details, I make the UV islands bigger during the UV unwrapping phase. As you can see, none of the UV chucks I've used for this character overlap. While we could technically overlap UVs for elements like wires, certain legs, though not all, lamps and glowing components to save significant UV space, I've chosen to keep them separate for this particular model, primarily to simplify my workflow. This covers everything I wanted to mention. I'll stop narrating at this point. Thanks for watching, guys. If my videos are of use to you, be my guest and subscribe to my channel for more stylized content. And most importantly, have a great day.